Hello, my name is Michael Randolph, and I'm coming to you today um, related to the West Tampa Community Development Corporation. We are about to look at a presentation that we made before the Tampa City Council, the Tampa City CRA uh, a- agency. Let me start over again. The video that we're about to look at is a video that was of a meeting with the city's community development agency that oversees the CRA. What's unique about Tampa is that Tampa, you have both the city council, and the city council also controls the CRA. So that's unique about Tampa. That's why I got kind of confused just now. So moving forward, this presentation is about how do you use community development strategies to increase the monies necessary to do community development. This presentation here is going to talk about what we're doing in West Tampa. But what is critical to understand, and I think if you're looking at this, and if you want to do community development, infrastructure changes in your neighborhood, you have to understand CRA, because this source of money can actually provide infrastructure. And we're going to talk about how we're using the CRA district in order to bring money into West Tampa. But what's most importantly, takeaways. If you're going to do infrastructure changes, you have to understand community development, especially from the perspective of how do you fund the deal? How do you have a conversation with lenders, investors, and definitely how do you use to the best of your capacity government subsidies, be it tax incentive or whatever the case, to make the deal work. So that being said, let's go and look at the video, and then from time to time I'll jump in. Thank you. Good morning, CRA committee. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to HC, who has the West Tampa CRA. He's a stand-up guy. He's doing a great job. He's doing a great job because not only does he bring the skill set, but he brings the passion, tradition to everybody to make sure they're inclusive. So today I'm coming in two hats. First is the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development, and then as the West Tampa CDC. As the nonprofit, Center for Nonprofit, we are a national organization that works in over 25 states and bring in technical assistance to nonprofit. Today, we probably have worked with over 420 businesses to get started throughout the United States. Related to West Tampa, our commitment to West Tampa is to the residents. In that particular respect, we've had over 20 different community meetings to deal with the issue related to your own yard, in addition to the meetings that the developer has given. We bring into the CDC some software that's really needed. One of the software that we bring in is what's known as Microsoft Map. That's going to allow us to map everything that we need to map. And it's very important when you want to make a presentation. We can map for a neighborhood group, for example, where's trash in the neighborhood, where's vacant houses. That's just some of the work that they can do. The other thing we're bringing is what's called market analyst data, so we can analyze the data necessary to do economic development. We also have a software in which we can drill down and tell you everybody's income. In fact, I can tell you everybody's income for the city council and the value of their house. That's how deep this particular software goes. What we're going to use it for mobilization in the West Tampa community. We plan to train 10 community residents. People have been talking and grant writing, because people have been talking about gentrification. How do we plan to deal with gentrification? We talk about creating 120 new businesses for residents in West Tampa, and as a result of that, over 140 new jobs being created. Now, here's what we plan to do. We plan to go after $800,000 from the federal government. With the $800,000, we plan to come back to talk to the banks. We use that to bring in another 20 million, and then we're going to do grants to bring in 80 million. So what we talked about with this project, we plan to bring in 80 million additional dollars to invest in the West Tampa community. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to talk, because this is about economic development. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Randolph.
Thank you. Next speaker we have is Ms. Jean Strohmeyer. Hear me, please unmute yourself. You have 3 minutes to speak.
Good morning, council members. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just asked because I have a new headset on this morning. Happy Thursday to each and every one of you. I am Fran Tate, the Community Advisory Committee Chair of the East Tampa Partnership. Member Lynn Hertag, welcome. We look forward to working with you in East Tampa and seeing you at the Jackson Heights Neighborhood Association April meeting. Councilman John Dingfelder was a strong supporter of our neighborhood association. Thank you for accepting our invitation. This morning, I'd like to address items 5 and 11. As you stated, Member Hertag, you are new to the CRA, and I am new to the East Tampa CRA Economic Development especially. Item number 5 came as a result of frustrations felt by the CAC chairs, past, as well as myself, current CAC chair, and the community members. It was stated at the January 20th CRA meeting that out of 3 chairs in 5 years coming before the CRA, we've had the same complaint and concerns, which were and which are a lack of communication, the inability to move projects forward, and slow to no response from city staff. An example is the owner-occupied rehab program approved by you, the CRA, in July of 2021. An RFP was submitted almost a year ago with no explanation, no update as to why the program is not moving forward. My seniors and veterans of East Tampa still have tarps on their roofs with the hurricane season just around the corner. Item number 11, as chair of the CAC, I request you refer item 11 back to the CRA. The East Tampa CRA has more money in our budget than we have ever had. And we want to be and need to be more responsible with the projects that we recommend. I would also like to request that the legally reviewed and approved process for reviewing funding requests in West Tampa, in the West Tampa CRA, be referred to the East Tampa CRA for review and implementation. Please refer item 11 back to the East Tampa CRA, CAC. Thank you so very much. I look forward to our joint meeting on the 19th of this month. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Ms. Tate.
Ms. Tate, Mr. Chair, can I ask a question?
Surely, you're recognized, Councilman Carlson.
Ms. Tate, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
We got an email from one of the CAC members about item number 11, asking us to vote against it. Can you tell us, did the CAC vote in favor of it, and how did the vote go?
The CAC voted in favor of it. What else do you?
But you think it needs to come back for further discussion? Is that?
Yes, sir, because we don't have a process in order just as West Tampa CRA does. We want to be extremely responsible of our monies, and to just vote blindly without any type of application or process in order, that's being a little bit irresponsible in my opinion. So we want to review the West Tampa CRA process and adopt that process because it's only the right thing to do.
Thank you, ma'am.
Councilwoman Hurtado.
Was that it?
I have a question for you as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So the application process, in order like West Tampa, do you, when you discuss this, do you have any paperwork? I didn't find any information about the actual program. Is that what you are going back to talk more about? I didn't see site plans or anything like that.
We don't have an application. I feel as a chair, it's important to have some type of a process in order. Or West Tampa has the model for it. Give us a chance to look at the West Tampa model so that we're not blindly just handing out our dollars that we're responsible with to different organizations. I'll give you an example. The floodgate is open now. I was just on a Zoom on Monday with another organization asking for millions of dollars to fund their project. How do we show responsibility if we are just approving and writing checks to whoever, however, and whenever? We got to get more organized in East Tampa. We understand that we're just not there. We're just not where we need to be in our CRA, but we want to be there. West Tampa, we see them as a model, and we want to be a model as well.
Are you finished? Councilman Goods.
I think what the problem you have when you talk about East Tampa, when you look at some of the other CRAs and you look at some of their qualifications, East Tampa now they have people who you can say know the subject matter. I think that's why you're getting your scuttlebutt now, because you have people who now know about economic development, they know about infrastructure and program. Versus before, we had a lot of our seniors that were on our boards, versus when East Tampa first, with that partnership, when you had a Diana Hart, you had a Mr. Kinsey, you had those knowledgeable people when East Tampa first jumped up. But then you got a big roadblock, and then there was no money for a long time. Now there's money, and people went away. Now you have people coming back who are now interested in making sure East Tampa flourishes. And a lot of people are just now going to the CRA just asking for money, but it's money that don't really fit into what CRA is supposed to do. And I think that's why now people are questioning, and I got a call about some other projects that I was taking back as well. And I was like, that process. So I can understand what they're saying. Some council CRA board needs to look at, but I think, I know the frustration because I've sat on that board. And the frustration with many is that things are put out there, but it takes forever for them to come back and get implemented. And the question is why, versus if the administration wants something moved, it's moved, but yet the East Tampa folks feel like when they put an idea to foster the people, things are there are roadblocks. That may not be true. I don't know, but I do know I've sat there and I've felt that way before. And there's a process throughout the city, but I think for me, I think East Tampa feels that they need to be bumped up. And what are the processes in place? They need to be moved to the head of the line so they can start seeing some of the goals and objectives for East Tampa. We talk about that rehab from day one when I was on the CAC in 2019. I talked about rooftops. I talked about slowing down gentrification by making sure we have dollars of small programs and grants to be able to make sure those folks can get what they need to remodel and rehab their houses. So I'm hoping that moving forward, we can get some of these roadblocks out of the way, and East Tampa goes to the head of the line versus being in the middle or the back of the line, and really have a concentrated effort on East Tampa on all fronts. So I do understand some of their frustrations.
Okay.